Welcome once again. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made my ice cream cart. Kindly subscribe. The first thing I did was to hide my light and camera to avoid distractions, and then I increased the size of my cube, and I tried to expand as well on all axes. I also tried to create a cooling system box, so I duplicated the square and extruded it on the Z axis. As you can see, both squares seem to have the same size, so I had to increase the base square to make a difference, and I tilted it around to see how it looks. I imported Taurus. As you can see, it really looks like a wheel, so I imported that and took it closer to the cart, and then I duplicated to make it two, and I'm going to take it further inside because it's not really close to the cart, and then I have to raise the base cube. It was a bit too low, so I raised it, and then I'm trying to duplicate the Taurus, that's the wheel, to the other side of the cart. That's to make four, and as you can see, I am doing this on the axis, which is the x-axis. The essence of always moving your objects on the or meshes on the axis is to be sure that they are not out of line or out of place. This can be a little difficult sometimes getting it right, so you have to keep trying till it's done and you're satisfied with the outcome. Then I realized that my cooling system box wasn't sitting in the right spot, wasn't in the middle, so I had to move it a bit to look okay. In order for me to check how every mesh is sitting, if they are okay, I had to click on my numpad to view, and then I tilted it and I realized that my wheels weren't properly placed, so I had to do that. Now that I'm done with that, I am duplicating a cube to make the flap that connects the handle. So I am going to resize the cube to be as slim as possible, and then I have achieved that. I have to move it to and make sure it's sitting rightly. This was a whole lot of work. I did this for a couple of minutes. It took a very long time, and then I kept trying because you just have to be persistent till you get it right, although you can't just leave it. So I kept trying, and then eventually it was okay. So I duplicated that and took it to the other side of the base cube, just so that we can have two flaps. And then doing that, I had to do it on the x-axis, just so that if you realize, the first time I did it, I just grabbed it all through to the next to the other side, but I remembered that I have to do it on the axis so it will be accurate, so I had to duplicate another and then used it used my x-axis and then moved it to the other side, which was much easier. Then I just did some little adjustments on the z-axis, and then it was good. Then I had to, at this point, now add my handle. I duplicated the handle and then I added the handle. Making the handle too was a long process. It was stressful, it was difficult, it took a long time to get it in the right spot, but I did it eventually and it turned out well. But that was after a long trial. This is me finding out that the flap wasn't protruding enough, so I had to do that just so that when I'm placing the handle, it, it would sit right. So I had to adjust the flap and then try to fix the handle. But like I said, it was a long process. It was not an easy one, but then eventually we got it right and made little adjustments, and then was good. This is the picture of what the card is supposed to look like. So now that everything seems to be intact, I need to tidy up my screen. I deleted the unnecessary objects that are not wanted. Then I suddenly realized that I needed to make a partition for the opening of the cooling system box. So I duplicated the handle and I took it on the cooling system box and tried to place it accurately so that it could sit well. That is supposed to be the opening. My cooling system box seems to be a bit too high, so I had to try and move it a little inside using the z-axis. I moved it inside and we adjusted the opening and I was done. Here I am trying to join them together. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.